In today's video, we are going to be exploring my favorite makeup of 2019. Hi guys, my name is Magali, and if it's your first time on my channel, then welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I make regular videos on beauty, fashion, travel and lifestyle. And welcome to my second 2019 favorite slash best of video. I already have one video out on my fashion favorites where I sat and talked you through the things that I wore the most and why I like them. Today's video, we are going to be focusing on makeup, a hair tool, as well as hair removal for face and body. There will be a third video in this series also coming really soon. This is pretty much going to be like a standard favorites video where I'll take you through all of the things I loved and used the most. Of course, every product isn't perfect, so even when I loved a thing, I will mention any significant downsides that I found as well. Think of this video like magazine's beauty awards. Insert any magazine name here. I will be deciding and talking about favorites based on things I actually liked and enjoyed using, and not based on which brand gives me the most advertising revenue for the year. So now that we've got all of that out of the way, let's get started. We'll start with base products. I actually have two different products that I've enjoyed putting on my face this year. The first of which is this Lakme 925 Weightless Mousse Foundation. Lakme now has 12 shades in this range. I found that mixing two shades, number 10 and number 11, gives me the best match. I really like the mousse texture of this, and I have oily, sensitive, acne-prone skin. This stays on me very well throughout the day, even in humid climate or when my skin gets extra greasy. It never exacerbates my acne or makes me too shiny. I used to be the type of person who always needed to finish off any of my base products with powder, and in the year 2019, even in summer, I pretty much didn't touch powder because this gave me a really nice finish. It does say it's formulated for all skin types, but I feel normal to oily skin types will like it better. And if you're like me and have never enjoyed using cream foundations, like you gravitated towards powders and all, this might be the foundation for you. I like that this is also pretty affordably priced, and since I don't wear makeup every day, I'm still on my first set of tubes, but I've already repurchased both of them because I see myself using it a lot in the future as well. Downside, the coverage of this is not much, a low to medium at best. If you do have spots or scars or anything that you want hidden by foundation, this probably is not going to do the trick. You will have to use concealer. I have the most marks on my cheek and on my chin, and I used a little bit of the next product I'm going to talk about on those areas for a bit of extra coverage. So these are my favorite warm weather base product. Now when the weather gets a little bit cooler in Mumbai and I am naturally less of a grease ball, I like to go towards this product by Lancome. It's the Teint Idol Ultra Wear Makeup Stick with SPF 21. You don't get this product in India because Lancome isn't available here. I had to purchase this in US and have my aunt bring it down, so I feel a little bad recommending it, but if you do get a chance to look at this product, it's worth it. It's super creamy. Coverage that this gives is pretty insane. Even if I have like really dark marks or scars, this covers them so effortlessly while still looking very much like skin, and is so easy to use because I just swipe this directly on my face and then I usually blend with a brush. You can use your fingers. With this I use my fingers, but with this I use a brush. All boils down to personal preferences. It also says soft matte finish, which is a good finish for me in the winter months. Cannot wear this in a Mumbai summer because I would start getting shiny and greasy. When that happens, then the product does transfer and it's gross. But for winter, it's one of my absolute holy grail products. The main downsides of it are the lack of availability in most of the world. This seems to only be available in Europe and North America, and secondly, it is a pricey product. I am on my second tube because it's absolutely worth it to me, but if I have to repurchase this when it's closer to getting over, it'll still pinch a little. Even though my skin's not particularly been perfect in 2019, I just use next to no concealer this year. So if I'm using a light base or if I'm using a heavier base, I let that do the work, and if my blemishes are showing through, I really didn't care for the additional step of concealing them. But I did have one concealer as part of my everyday routine. It is the Maybelline Age Rewind concealer, and I only use this to brighten up my under eye area. I am a very lazy person, so the less steps I can have in my daily makeup routine, the better. The reason I keep using this concealer though is I find that brightening my under eyes really makes a big difference to my finished look. I don't exactly have dark circles, but I do have a very deep set under eye area. When I don't have makeup, or even when I do, you can actually see this line which is a little bit more sunken in. That's just how my face is, but it does add a lot of like unflattering shadow. So I'll just usually add a couple of swipes in like a triangular fashion, and then I will blend it out with this brush. I do it very quickly and I love the effect it gives. I don't usually set it with separate powder, and it stays quite well throughout the day. It doesn't really crease or settle in my fine lines. If I have a sweaty day, it might just sort of fade a little. I also really like the packaging. You have to kind of twist and click it to dispense product, and this minimizes wastage a lot. Plus you can see exactly how much you have remaining. So when it's full, the plunger was at the top. Slowly the plunger is now almost at the bottom, but I do still have some use out of it, and I already have my next one lined up. Maybelline recently released new shades under this, so there are more shades for everybody. I use the shade medium. It's quite a lot lighter than my skin tone, but if I'm brightening my under eye area, I need it to be lighter. It shouldn't match me because it should just kind of reflect more light. The only downside I can find is, since the applicator is in a sponge form and I've had this for a while, the sponge is always soaked with the product. You do have a lid, but still the sponge has become really soggy and it feels like it's gonna crumble or fall off or break apart any second now, and I just need the sponge to last until I finish it. So fingers crossed that works out. If you have dark circles or naturally deep set under eye area, I would really recommend this. Even if you wear glasses on a regular basis and you wear makeup, this step will help your finished look. The next thing I have to talk about is this beloved face brush from Real Techniques. Back when I started this YouTube channel, I was still very much a beginner, still sort of learning and trying new makeup. That's when the hype for this brand, Real Techniques, was very strong. They had just launched and they were getting rave reviews everywhere. So I did spend some money and I purchased so many Real Techniques makeup brushes. I think I pretty much purchased everything that they had available at that point, and I didn't really know what I would use. They're pretty well made and affordable, but the truth of the matter is I don't put heavy makeup, I don't put eye makeup, and most of those brushes did not really get that much use from me. One brush, however, has been working so hard, and it is this buffing brush from their face collection. I kind of hate that you can't buy this brush on its own. You have to buy it in a kit with 3 other brushes, I think. But this is a really versatile and nice brush, and this is the one I have used on my face the most, not just in 2019 but in all of the years since I first bought it. I use this to blend cream products, I use this to blend liquid products, I use this to blend powder products. It can actually work all over your face for base makeup, or it also works for blush or bronzer, and I've just used this in so many ways. It's extremely versatile, it gives a good coverage and a really nice finish, and I've thought of replacing it so many times because I've had it so long, but it's still in really good condition, so I don't want to throw it out until it looks more worn. I wash it very regularly. If you're only using it with powder or only using it with liquid, that's fine, but since I actually use it with all of those things, this gets washed at least a couple of times a week, and it is still held up so well. I love it and would recommend it, but I think it is time to buy a new one in 2020. Let's talk eyebrow products now. Two favorites here, and both of them are from Korean brand Innisfree. This first one is something that I started out the year using the most, and I've actually used it pretty regularly for the last 2 or 3 years. It is their drawing eyebrow pencil. It's available in a few different shades, so I'm usually just using the dark brown shade, but I have also tried the gray brown shade, which works better on like black hair. And then I've also tried the one that leans a little bit red, because last year I did have red hair. You get the actual like eyebrow pencil in retractable form on one side, and you also get a spoolie on the other side. I really like when my eyebrow pencils have a spoolie, because that helps me not have to carry a separate one. When you apply it on your brows, you have to diffuse, you just have to. Before this, I used the Colourpop brow pencils, but Colourpop is kind of a pain to get in India because you need to order it internationally. That also had a spoolie, but a tiny one. I like this spoolie better. It's a little bit more generous and a little bit more fluffy. The pencil is pretty dense. I think it looks quite natural. It kind of adheres onto your skin well and lasts well throughout the day. For the price, it's really nice and I can't complain. However, a little more recently, I discovered another product from Innisfree for brows that I ended up liking a little bit more, and it is their Color My Brows product. This is a different format altogether, similar to a mascara except that you put it in your brows. One of the main differences between the two things is with an eyebrow pencil, you would kind of draw the color onto your skin to create that eyebrow shape, and what this does is it actually clings to your brow hair more and just makes them look a little bit more defined. I think that I like the brow mascara better because it gives my brows a dense look, but it looks more natural and less drawn on, and this actually lasts so well throughout the day. I don't think they say it's waterproof, but it's pretty water resistant even when I've gotten sweaty, and my entire face may have like kind of melted off and disappeared. My brows are still going strong. I am definitely in love with this product, though it's a little bit pricier than the pencil. It makes me very happy, and I feel like I might sort of slowly ditch the pencil, which is good, and move more to this, which is even better. I've almost finished my first tube and I have already ordered 2 more. Now we're gonna talk lip products, and I'm excited to talk about these, but also a little bit sad because ever since I first started using makeup, the product that I purchased the most was lip products, like lipsticks in cream form, liquid form, traditional stick form, whatever kind you like. I have so many of them. And in the year 2019, I just pretty much switched it up between 2 or 3 products, and I stuck to shades on the natural spectrum. I feel like I sort of experimented a lot less with shades this year. I'm just talking to you guys about what I naturally gravitated towards. So all the 3 shades are nudes, kind of like this one which I'm wearing right now, but they are nudes suitable to medium dark skin tones, because if you have skin color like mine or darker, a lot of the lipsticks that get called the best nude lipsticks are things that are just geared more towards light skin, and when you put them on, they just don't look that great. They're too light and they wash you out and take out all of the life from your face. If you're not super light skinned, I feel that you have to work a little harder to find nude shades that look nice on you, and then when you find them, you stick with them. The first one that I have is a product from Nude Sticks. When Nude Sticks first came to India, I did make a video review on the range that included this product, and this ended up being my single most used lip product of the year. This is the Intense Matte Lip and Cheek Pencil in the shade Purity. I wore this so much, and I feel like in 60 to 70% of the videos I made this year also, the chances are high that I'm just wearing Purity. Today I'm not actually wearing it on my lips, but I did swipe a little bit of it on my cheeks to bring a little life in. I just wanted a light tint. I'm sure you can go darker, but I kept it subtle. This is a really pretty mauvey nude shade that would work on almost all skin tones. It's just like a My Lips but better nude shade, and I hate matte lipsticks that are really drying. That's the reason I stay away from all liquid matte products, the ones that dry down on your lips. But this is a comfortable matte and I really love it. It doesn't survive a full meal, but it's just so quick and easy to reapply. So this is actually not the normal cap, this is the sharpener cap, so that I can sharpen it whenever I need it. I do own about 250 to 300 lip products. It's quite a lot. I am very much due for a major declutter and overhaul. But that being said, when this finishes up, I still feel that I am gonna 100% repurchase it because I pretty much love everything about it. The only downside would be that it's not the cheapest product, but I love it so much. So again, it's one of those luxury items that justifies the price. Next lip product I have from Colourpop. This is one of their ultra satin lip colors and the shade is Barracuda. This is one of my favorite ultra satins from Colourpop. I actually have two favorites. One of them is Frickin' Frack and this one is Barracuda. They're both such beautiful deeper mauvey nudes, and this is the one I'm wearing on my lips right now. Ultra Satin is my favorite Colourpop formula because it's very comfortable to wear and it doesn't stay glossy, it doesn't go matte, it just gives you this nice little bit of shine and yet it doesn't slip around. I don't feel like I'm wearing a product on my lips that makes it uncomfortable in any way. Pretty shade, comfortable, affordable, zero downsides. The third lip product I have is something that I use less, but I feel like I'm going to use a lot more of it going forward. This is from US brand Bite Beauty, which you may have heard of. They are also available in Sephora in the US, and I got this from the Sephora USA website. They're not in India yet, but they're a brand I admire a lot and I kind of hope they come soon. So this is a mini version of their lipstick. I have a couple of full-size shades as well, but I actually got this as part of my Sephora birthday gift, which is something they do abroad. If you place an order during your birthday month, you get to choose a little mini gift. This range is called Amuse Bouche and the shade that I love is Chai. Now this actually makes me so happy because I am very desi in that way. I'm such a big chai lover and I love my chais, which is just black tea with milk. And I also love masala chai, which is where you put a little bit of spice in chai. It's just the absolute. So the name only made me happy, and when I tried this on, it's just a really beautiful color and really suits my skin tone so well. And again, it's really pretty and comfortable, and the fact that it's a mini, it's just so easy to carry with you. And the smaller size actually makes it nicer to apply because there's less surface area, so you get like a little bit of more precision and you can kind of like shape it on your lips better. The downsides of it would probably be again the lack of availability in India and the fact that it's not super cheap, but also it's really great, and if you get a chance, you guys should check this one out. We're done with makeup. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about nail polishes because I really enjoy just keeping my nails in good shape, filing them and polishing them, and I like doing that at home because it's just easier. Two nail polishes that I've really loved this year have both been from the same brand and the same range. It's the Sally Hansen Miracle Gel range. The two shades are all chalked up, which is this really beautiful pastel lilac, and then there's also Suede, which is kind of a pun. I didn't even realize till I said it out loud, like persuade, like persuade. But yeah, this is what I'm actually wearing on my nails right now. It's a little bit of a corally terracotta kind of shade. If you watch all of my videos from 2019, I think I'm pretty much wearing one or the other of these. It's a really nice formula. It's got a lot of colors, but I think both of these are really pretty. This one being a nice cool summery shade, and this one you can wear all of the time. It's almost like a nice nude, because I find the problem that I mentioned with nude lipsticks also applies to nude nail polishes sometimes. A lot of the nudes sort of wash out the color of your hand because they're made for light skin tones, and you need to find a little bit of a deeper nude nail polish for darker skin tones. Right now my nails are like crappy as hell because I had to cut them. Also, they've chipped a little bit, but if my nails were a little bit longer and if I'd actually put on polish nicely, I feel this would have illustrated my point better. These are the only 2 nail polishes I bought this year, and I did also buy a clear top coat. Since I'm buying fewer shades, I prefer to spend a little bit on a better range because better quality nail polishes really show a difference. This is naturally glossy and stays a really long time. I usually skip base coat, but I prefer putting 2 coats of either of them and then putting a top coat for the best results. Even though I don't wear a base coat, neither of these polishes have also stained or yellowed my nails in any way, which I think is another testament to just how good they are. If you're looking to purchase some new nail polishes, would wholeheartedly recommend this whole range. So now it's time to talk about hair tool. This actually isn't what I used on my hair today because I curled my hair today, but this is the tool that I've been using every time I wear my hair straight. It's the Philips heated straightening brush. I have a full video review out on this, and then I also mentioned it in my last favorites video. It may not be the perfect tool. It does have its downsides, but it's also easy and comfortable to use. I do like the results of it, and I just find myself reaching for this all of the time. I usually use it on the higher heat setting. My hair is naturally very porous, and I live in a very humid city, which means that sometimes styles don't last in my hair. Whatever I do, whether it's straighten it or curl it, when I go out into the environment, it just kind of opens up. The styling with this usually lasts quite well, especially if I take the time to section it and do it right. It will not only last through the day, but it will last for 2-3 days even, until my next wash. It's a really handy and easy to use tool. You don't have to have a lot of expertise in hot tools to know how to use this properly. The downsides of it are that even though the bristles have stayed quite intact, you kind of do get hair caught up inside the brush, which is not very easy to access to clean. So that's definitely one thing that bothers me a little bit. If you do use heat protectant spray, then you'll also get a little bit of that residue which will stick to the bristles, and I do need to sit and kind of deep clean this one day. You obviously can't wash it, it's an electrical tool, so you'll have to be extra careful with it, and I kind of just wish it was maybe easier to like take apart and clean. Definitely been one of my favorite hair discoveries of the year. So now we're down to the final section of this video, which is hair removal products for face and body. I am naturally kind of a hairy person, I guess, so hair removal is definitely part of my beauty regimen, and I like experimenting with and trying a lot of different things. One of the things that I use to remove hair on my face, something I've used a lot in the past, it's just this face razor. You can get face razors by a lot of different brands, but my preferred brand is this Japanese brand called Feather Piany. It's a little bit more expensive than competition brands, but the quality is really nice, and I use this on both of the main areas on my face that I remove hair from: my upper lip, also the area in between my eyebrows. But I know a lot of women also kind of shave the peach fuzz and the thinner hair of their face. I have it and I don't bother shaving it because I'm lazy, but if you shave your face, then foundation goes on nicer. A lot of people just prefer to do that. This is a nice tool and I will definitely continue using it. But I also started trying out a new method of facial hair removal this year. It was a winner for me. It is these Veet face waxing strips. It comes in a kit with the body waxing strips, which I've used for a while. The face waxing strips are something new. So essentially, the material of both the body waxing strips and the face waxing strips is actually the same. and the only difference between the two is the shape. The face waxing strips are tinier, which makes it easy and more ergonomic to use them on your face. I know people used to sometimes cut up the bigger body waxing strips, so the fact that they listened to that need and made smaller strips makes me happy. These are cold waxing strips, so you don't have to do any kind of heating or prep. Just sort of clean your face, put the strip on, and then just pull your hair out. It does sting a little bit because shaving is a painless method, but when you wax, it pulls your hair out from the root and you feel it, but it is a pretty bearable pain and it's just kind of over in an instant. I do like the results that the waxing strip gives me. Your hair needs to have grown a little bit longer for it to work effectively. If I use a razor, then I have to shave my face again in 4 or 5 days or a week. And if I use a waxing strip, then I usually don't have to do anything for a fortnight, which is wonderful. I also have sensitive skin and I've found that my skin tolerates it quite well, but I've also made mistakes with this. So I would say if your skin is in its period of like breaking out and it's very hormonal, most of us have those few days before our period when our skin is worse. That's when I would recommend not using it, because I've made the mistake of using it during that period and then my skin has felt more raw and more inflamed. So if you avoid those few days, you can use it any other time without any issue. It sometimes does cause a little bit of redness and inflammation for a while, so I will always use this at night and apply a cream that suits my skin after, and usually by the next morning there's no trace of inflammation. But this is not one of those products that you just are in a hurry to get out of your house and go somewhere and you quickly wax your face. Definitely do it at night and give your skin a little bit of time to calm down after. Now that we've talked about my favorite facial hair removal methods, let's move on to body. I still pretty much shave my hands and legs. That's just for the record. There's not anything more to talk about. But I like waxing my underarms because that's the area where like smoothness just feels better. I just use the Veet body waxing strip to wax my underarms. It's pretty quick, it's pretty easy. In the beginning it used to kind of hurt me more, but now it doesn't even hurt that much. I can easily use this about every 3 weeks or so. I really like the results that it gives because I've mentioned in the past how I don't really enjoy the process of going to a parlor. These waxing strips are a godsend because you can actually quickly wax in the comfort of your home, and it really does take just 10 minutes. While I personally prefer to use these strips just for my underarms, it's worth noting that you can use these pretty much anywhere where you grow hair and want to remove it. That includes your whole body, and you can also do your bikini line with this. I am just too much of a chicken to wax that area myself. I'll definitely leave it to a professional. The final body hair removal product that I've enjoyed using is also by Veet. It's one of their newer products. It's the Insha hair removal cream, which promises up to 7 days of smoothness. So this is also another one of the products that you can use pretty much anywhere on your body. This is my product of choice for removing your bikini line or your intimate area hair, because that's an area again that I don't personally prefer to shave. People shave, and as long as you're kind of careful, it's totally fine. Waxing is the ideal, but I don't like doing it at home. Getting it done professionally, I actually experienced it this year and I made a vlog on it also if you'd like to watch. It's a good experience, but it's definitely a little bit expensive, so it's something I would do before like a holiday or something, and not something I would just keep on going back to do all of the time. So I like this because it's really quick and easy to use, and it gives me good results. I have very sensitive skin as well as eczema, and this cream has not irritated my skin in any way. I feel that it is superior to the normal Veet hair removal cream that we have on the market. I use the one for sensitive skin just to be safe. I always pick the sensitive skin options. It's very comfortable to use. It doesn't have too much of that unpleasant smell that hair removal creams can have. You actually kind of use this in the shower, so you just need to apply it on wherever you want to remove the hair from, like in the bathroom, 2 or 3 minutes before you step into the shower. So you don't need to take out like separate extra time from your routine, just a few extra minutes. After that time has passed, you can step into the shower and wash it off. They also give you this sponge with the product. The softer side is to apply and spread the product, and then the slightly rougher side is to remove the product. It does everything it promises, and I don't have any complaints or downsides. That was it for my extremely chatty makeup, hair and hair removal products of 2019. And I made sure to only really pick products that I used a lot, I reached for a lot and really loved. Since we're doing this secret emoji thing at the end now, if you've made it till the end of this video, then leave me a yellow heart emoji in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts on any of these products. Have you tried or experienced them? Were you happy? Were you sad, disappointed, whatever? I would also love if you would share any products that you really liked using in 2019. So let's all just go and chat in the comments, and I will be making another one of these best of / favorites videos, which will be talking about skincare, and I'm so excited to sit and film that because I do believe that I saved the best one for last. So I will see you guys very soon. Bye.